How television has changed. Hello, y'all. I'm Dianna, Brianne. Well, I don't give advice, suggestions, information, or recommendations. I just share with you my perspective on different topics, as is with this one. And I got to thinking about throughout the years since I was a child, which from the late 1950s all the way through now, how television has changed. Well, back in my day, we didn't have cable. We had rabbit ears. And I remember starting off with one television station. We had one local television station. Sometimes we could get two, but it usually was quite fuzzy. And then on some rare day, we could actually get more distant television stations, very fuzzy and barely watchable. But sometimes we would watch them anyhow just because we were so excited to get an additional television station. The shows back then were in black and white, most of them, and then color came around. And I have to tell you, I really missed television back then. I think television, the programming that was on was more family oriented, and even the ones that weren't family oriented, they were well done, they were well written, there were storylines. A lot was left to our imagination rather than, showing everything up close like they do now. Television had different standards back then. And, growing up, we didn't have VCRs and we didn't have ways to record shows. So we waited once a year for that special show like The Wizard of Oz or Peter Pan or Frosty the Snowman. We didn't have access to DVDs and unlimited movies and movies on demand and TV shows on demand and go on the internet and search whatever shows we wanted. We didn't have any of that. So television meant a lot to us. We spent a lot of time together as families, as friends, sitting on the porch swing. We didn't watch a lot of television because often there wasn't a lot to choose from. But I remember cartoons coming on like at 5 o'clock in the afternoon from 5 to 6, sometimes from 4:30 to 6 o'clock. Boy, did I ever wait for those cartoons. I love them. And now, you've got unlimited cartoons of just about every kind, and many of them, in my opinion, are not designed for kids. But kids watch them anyhow, it seems. But we don't watch much TV here in my family. I do watch an occasional TV show, but not many. And I do have rabbit ears. I believe in rabbit ears, although right now we have cable because my husband does like to watch sports. But when he's not watching sports, often we'll revert back, cancel the cable, and just use rabbit ears. And we get a lot of channels. And nowadays, people get like 400 channels, and back then we had one channel, and sometimes it was fuzzy depending on the weather. And, it just seemed like TV shows I think sometimes less is more. I know people today with 400 channels that can't find anything good to watch on TV because they're so inundated with too much. Sometimes it's like when we eat too much, something that is sitting over there that's delicious doesn't taste all that good now because, well, we've been eating too much, we're full. And I think we can get full of television, full of too much media of any kind, really, whether it's internet, whether it's television, whether it's whatever. But yeah, television has really changed. And I do miss old time television. And I have to tell you, I did my paper, my end of the year paper in college, because y'all know I'm a 64-year-old college student full time. And I did a paper and I got, I think, 107 points on it. I mean, I did really well. 100 is like the highest you can go. But our teachers sometimes gave us bonus points. And it was a very long paper I did, a lot of research I did with citations, and I did it on television shows, the creation of television, and all the television shows that came after the creation of television. And, it was a very long paper. I would love for you to have been able to read it because I think it was really well done, well researched, and my teacher really loved my paper. And So I did a lot of research on television. I miss old time radio shows. I love radio shows. And you can go online and listen to genuine old time radio shows. When we were driving across country in our motorhome, when our kids were smaller and I was homeschooling, and we were seeing all the states, we saw 48 states in our motorhome. It was wonderful. And at night, sometimes we'd be driving along and we would play the old time radio shows. I think it was like not Batman, it might have been Batman, but it was the radio shows from the 1930s and 40s, and I think even maybe into the 50s. And they were wonderful, absolutely wonderful, because they left something to your imagination rather than seeing everything up front. That's why I like to read books. People don't read that as much as they used to because everything is right there. You can listen to audio tapes, which I think are nice. I'm not saying that they're not nice, because sometimes they're convenient when you're driving or whatever. You can be listening to something positive. And yet, I grew up in the 50s and 60s and 70s, and I think a lot of television back then and radio was really, really good. What do you think? From my house to yours, may God bless you. I hope you like, share, subscribe to all 5 of my channels. Links are pinned to the top of the comment section below. If you connect with me, I will likely connect back with you as well. Hope to talk to you then. Bye-bye.